Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and what a delight to have in us the Timidator. Yep, Tim Elbert's with us from the Four Seasons Nursery, and taking your calls today as we go into a beautiful weekend, and we prepare for some scorching weather coming up late next week. So if you have any questions about plants, bugs, trees, lawns, flowers, vegetables, did I leave anything out? Weeds.
Yeah, weeds, bugs.
The number is 776-5770, 776-5770, and you are going to give away a what?
We're going to give away a Shasta Daisy called Banana Cream. This is a very nice little Shasta Daisy that comes out with banana yellow flowers that fade to white, blooms all summer long. The deer leave them alone, so they're great for just about any type of situation.
All right, so it's a banana lily, and picture there on the screen.
Well, no, it's not a banana lily. I'm sorry. It's a daisy.
Oh, banana daisy. All right.
Yes. Okay.
Banana daisy. I better write that down too, because I'm forgetful. All right, a banana daisy. So anyway, when you call in, your name's going in the hat, and somewhere around the end of the program, we'll pull one name out. So give us a call if you got some concerns about your yard and gardening this time of the year. We're going to have a very pleasant weekend. I mean, we're talking like in the 80s here in Southern Oregon, which is very pleasant. But next week, we're talking like boom, 106.
Yes, yeah.
So it's going to be pretty tough on some plants.
Yeah, it's a great time this weekend to get out into the yard and do some summer pruning. So you can check out some of your shrubs and do some pruning and cleaning on those. But I was just out in my yard a week ago doing some summer pruning on my trees and limbing some of them up and getting them all cleaned up. And so it's perfect timing for that.
Okay.
And lots of other things too.
All right, 776-5770. Now that's a special number to get you through to Tim. 776-5770, area code 541. So no matter where you're watching or where you're listening on the Dove, anywhere around the country, the state, wherever, if you're listening and watching, he can answer your questions. He's that smart. 541-776-5770, and feel free to give us a call, and your name will go in the hat. Somebody's going to win a beautiful banana daisy. Okay. Wanda, hi. What's going on with your friendly gophers?
Well, they're coming at night with big mounds of dirt. What can I do about it?
Well, we have a product called Molgo that works very, very good for that. And you just sprinkle it down. It's a granule. Sprinkle it down and water it in, and it drives them away. It doesn't actually kill them, but it does drive them away. And it works very, very good. We've had a lot of happy customers from that.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, 776-5770, and let's see here. Let's go to Diana. Potted palm, not doing so good?
Well, it's just now starting to get some little white colors on some of the leaves or pine or the little needles. Mm-hmm. And we're just wondering, when do we take it out of that pot and plant it into a bigger pot?
Okay, as soon as you start to see roots coming out through the drainage holes, you know it's time. Okay. So they do like to be root bound, so they like to be kind of tight in the pots, and that's normal. But if they're starting to work their way out of the pot, then you know it's definitely time to get them going. And just go one size larger of a container.
Oh, good. Yeah. That's what I was going to ask. Thank you, Tim. God bless you guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. All right, the number, bye-bye. The number is 776-5770. Tim here to take your questions about what's going on in the yard. By the way, if you've never been out to the nursery, you're missing it. It's just gorgeous. And all these beautiful hanging baskets you see around. See, you're in Eagle Point, you're in Central Point, you're in Medford, you're in Phoenix, Talon, and Ashland.
Yes.
Who's left?
And Rogue River.
And Rogue River, really?
Yes.
Boy, and they're just beautiful. They cascade down, and well, that is the creation of Tim and his dad, and out there at the Four Seasons Nursery. And so when you go out Highway 62, get off on Vilas Road, go up about a half mile. You can't miss it off to the right there. You'll see some other hanging baskets out there. They're just gorgeous. So anyway, give us a call, 776-5770. All right, hi, Kathy. Let's see here. What's going on with your corn?
Well, I just walked out into the garden this morning and noticed on 3 corn stalks, they were all mushy and rotten and bending over. So I came in and looked up on one of the college sites, and it looks like it's stalk rot. The other stalks in the patch have yellow leaves toward the bottom. Mm-hmm. Can I save this patch? Or is it dinged or what?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if you can. You definitely want to get those affected plants out of there. And just keep an eye on the other ones. And as soon as you start to see some damage, get them out of there as well. Hopefully you can keep it contained that way. But yeah, that's a death sentence for your corn. Yeah.
It was the best corn patch I've had in years.
Oh, yeah.
So in our area, I'm in Prospect. In our area, is there some common thing that causes it?
No, it's not a common issue in our area. So I don't know what caused yours to be that way, but yeah, it's very uncommon in our area.
Get it out. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the goats are eating it right now, so.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. There's a good way to recycle.
They like it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right,
Thanks.
Alrighty.
All right, 776-5770 is the number to talk to Tim. Your name's going in the hat for a beautiful banana daisy a little bit later on. Hi, Jerry. I guess your money tree went bankrupt?
Not quite. Just a tiny bit. The tips of the leaves are turning brown on some of them, and I've had this like 4 years. It was real tiny when I bought it, and it's quite large.
That's usually a sign that it's drying out in between waterings. So you may want to water a little more often. That's not uncommon when we have these higher heat days and we're trying to keep our houses cooler, we're running the air conditioner longer, etc. They'll dry out faster. So just keep a close eye on it and just try to water a little more often. It should be fine.
Okay, and should I cut those leaves off or leave them?
Yeah, you can trim them back. Just trim the dead off of them. If it continues to get worse, then trim the whole leaf off. But it shouldn't get any worse as long as you can start watering a little more often.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Jerry. All right, 776-5770. Mr. Tim Elbert's with us from the 4th Needs. Let's see if we can squeeze in one more. Hi, David. What's going on with your rose bush?
Well, my wife and I were going to do some work in the backyard, and we have a rose bush, so we transplanted it from the backyard to the front yard, and the leaves are all kind of wilty, and I'm kind of thinking that we either killed it or basically just set it off till next year before it starts growing or doing anything.
Yeah,
Do we need to get...
You definitely put it in a bit of shock. So a couple of things. Trim it way back. Cut it in half even. Or even more. Trim it way back, and then use some of a product called HB 101. We do have that at the nursery. It is an anti-stress material. It's an all-natural product that you mix with water, and when you water it in with that, and that will help plants recover from stress. So I would use the HB 101 and trim it back, and it should come out of that pretty nicely.
Okay, perfect. And you have that at your store, correct?
Yes, we do.
All right, then I'll be down there probably this weekend.
Okay.
All right, thanks, David. All right, the phone number again is 776-5770. There we go, 776-5770. That's a special number to talk to Tim Elbert. And your name's going to go in the hat. Somebody's going to win a beautiful banana daisy. Now, this will bloom all summer long.
Yes.
It'll get how tall?
They get about 2 feet tall. Wow. They come out kind of a yellow, kind of a creamy yellow, hence the name banana cream. And then they turn to white. Make great cut flowers. You can bring them inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take your calls when we come back. 776-5770.
Hi, I'm Paulina and I work at theDove TV. Did you know that when you support theDove TV, you have a profound impact, not only in our community, but around the world? It's your continued support that takes the inspiration and hope in the programs we produce and makes them available to the thousands of people who are watching these videos online every week. Help bring encouragement and hope to our valley and beyond by making a secure online donation today at our website, thedove.us.
Okay, we're back with Tim Elbert in the house. He heads up the Four Seasons Nursery and taking your phone calls today. If you have any questions about what's going on in your yard and some things you're going to be maybe planting or transplanting or whatever, here's the number. It's a special number to get through to the studio here. It's 541-776-5770. Again, that's a special number to get you through to Tim Elbert, 541-776-5770. And when you call in with your question, name's going in the hat, and somebody's going to win a beautiful banana daisy. That's what, a banana cream daisy.
Yes.
All right. It's one of those perfect daisy plants. I mean, you think of a flower, this is the one you kind of see in your mind, you know.
Yeah.
And so anyway, when you call, you could be the winner of that. Well, I got a lot of questions too, because we're going to go from, say, 80-degree weather to 106-degree weather. You could back off a little watering, then speed up a little watering. I mean, it's going to be pretty hot.
Yeah, it's going to be hot, and so yeah, you got to watch your watering and see how that goes, especially with your container plants. You know, right now you're probably watering once a day, and when we get to 106 degrees or whatever, it's going to be, plants are going to need a lot more water. In the nursery, they start watering in the morning. Get done usually just before lunch.
Yeah.
Take a lunch break, and they come back from lunch break, and they go back
and do
water
it
again. And so yeah, it's a lot of watering. So
all right,
you got to really watch that. Yeah.
Let's go to the back of the phones. Hi, Joanne. Thanks for waiting. What's going on with your grass? Are you there, Joanne?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I've got 3 large patches of grass, anywhere from 6 to 8 feet, kind of right in a row. We water evenly, but it's turning brown and it almost looks like it's dying, and it's growing out into the healthy grass. What product could I use on that, do you think?
Well, that could be fungus, and it could be insect related, so it'd be difficult to know for sure. Now, if it's spreading kind of evenly throughout, it's most likely fungus. If it's spreading in an irregular pattern, it's more likely to be insect. So, so regardless of that, the F-Stop is a great granular fungicide you can put on the lawn to help control fungus. And then there is the grub-free zone that you can put on the lawn for control of insects. And both of those are very, very good at controlling all of either fungus or all of insects that you get in your lawn. So have at it either way, or you can put them both down, you know, and just go for it. Then you got your bases covered.
So F-Stop and grub-free.
Yes, grub-free zone.
Okay, they're more irregular, so that it is growing in size. So I think, I don't know, we might try both. And it's children and animals safe?
Yes, put them down, water them in, and then they're fine for the animals and kids.
Okay, thanks, Tim. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
All right, 776-5770 is the number to get through to Mr. Tim Elbert, 776-5770, if you got any questions about your yard and things going on there. Hey, Robin, what's going on with your peach tree?
Well, I've already harvested all 3 peaches. It was kind of a puny crop.
Wow, what a harvest. Go to the bank.
What's that?
Go to the bank.
Anyway, it seems like a couple of years ago, when the tree was younger, I had talked to you or Tim, and it was okay to prune it back once the peaches were gone. But this seems so early in the year, I just wanted to check before I do any pruning.
Yes, absolutely you can prune it now. If you're done harvesting, have at it. Best time, actually.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, it is the best time to prune a peach tree right after you've harvested, even though it is early.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Hey, Robin.
Yes.
Do you know peaches and vanilla ice cream go together pretty well?
That's true, and I do. Well, no, I don't have any vanilla. I have to go to the market. Thank you, Perry.
All right, see you later. Thanks.
Thank you. Did you get a cherry rhubarb pie a little while back?
I'm going to plead the fifth. Why?
Well, I'm not going to plead the fifth. We've got one, and it was fantastic.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know if you're going to put the heat on me because you didn't get a piece of it.
So no, we got our own pie. Yes,
the cherry rhubarb.
The cherry rhubarb.
It was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. I've had the strawberry rhubarb, which is equally as good, but cherry's kind of my cherry pie a la mode is kind of like my favorite, you know.
Yeah.
But this cherry rhubarb, whoa.
Oh, it was fantastic. Yes.
Yeah.
So
thank you for the sweet people that brought that in.
Yes, and somebody just brought up peaches.
Yeah, there you go. All right, hey, if you got any questions for Tim going into their weekend, if you're going to do some yard work, this is the one you want to do it in because next week's going to really be hot. In fact, they're saying Wednesday on, you know it's going to be hot when you're talking low 80s along the coast.
Yes.
And inland, we're talking triple digits and in some cases 106 and above. So if you're going to do any yard work, this is the weekend to do it after you've gone to the fair. Or before you go to the fair, whatever. But here's the number, 776-5770. If you have any questions for Tim, 541-776-5770. And your name will go in the hat, and somebody's going to win this beautiful banana cream daisy. It's a banana cream daisy, and it is beautiful. All right, I have decided that I'm just giving up on my lawn again. I may have to go to AstroTurf.
Perry, you should see my lawn. I should bring you a picture of my lawn.
Really?
I guarantee it's worse than yours.
And you know how bad mine is.
Oh, goodness. Yes, all spring long, I didn't have time to work on my lawn. So this summer I decided we was going to do some work on my lawn, get it back into shape again. And couple weeks ago, I put every chemical known to man on my lawn, and it did not like that. Yeah. Okay. So it's okay. I'm coming up with some green paint. Did you know that in some of these drought areas, I saw an article, they are painting. They have a company that will go out and paint your lawn.
Really?
Your dead brown lawn. So I'm thinking about having them out to my place.
Look, I'm on a well.
Yeah.
And I just don't have the water. It's either water the lawn or don't take a shower, right?
Oh, yeah, leave the lawn.
So anyway, I've just given up on it. But on the other hand, folks, maybe you're suffering with the same thing. That's why I've been reluctant to put chemicals on the lawn because I didn't know if it'd just burn it up. I didn't have enough water to water anything in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so be careful if you're going to do that. If you're in my boat, I'll get you counseling with Patrick Doyle. Okay.
Yeah. And do as I say, don't do as I do.
Here we go. Hey, Vicki,
Yes.
we sure like blueberry pie around here.
That's great.
What's going on?
So my husband and I purchased several potted blueberry plants, and they're aged and they're a little bit older. And I wanted to put them right in the ground as soon as we purchased them. And my husband wanted to wait. He didn't think it was a great time to put them in the ground just yet.
Well, okay. So you want me to end the argument? Is that what this is?
I just wanted to know when I should put them in the ground.
Okay. So
maybe we ought to get them to Patrick first before we give them to you.
Anyways, I tell people this a lot when it starts to get hot like this. What do we do about planting our plants? And I just had that question come up yesterday as well from a gentleman who had bought a whole bunch of plants, didn't have them in the ground yet, and he's wanting to plant them, but he's wanting to say, well, should I wait for this heat wave to pass? Well, plants that are in containers are more susceptible to heat than plants that are in the ground. So those plants are better off in the ground than they are sitting up in their pots, and they're easier to care for. So I would suggest planting your blueberries, do it before it gets hot so that you're not out there in 100-degree weather trying to plant blueberries. But get them in the ground, and just the main thing is to be able to keep them well watered. And if you can do that, then absolutely get them planted.
Okay. And I heard earlier you recommended a solution with that HB 101 that you talked about earlier to be a good product to use.
Now, if the plants are not under stress, then we use the root stimulator. That helps to prevent stress and help the roots establish. So we use the root stimulator then. If the plants are under stress, for one reason or another, then we go to the HB 101. So I would suggest the Fertilome root stimulator to go with your blueberries, and a little acid fertilizer.
Should she trim these two, or just put them in like they are?
No, just put them in.
Okay, there you go.
Wonderful. And maybe this would be a perfect weekend to do that.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I'm going to be in trouble from your husband now, I'm sure.
All right, thanks, Vicki. All right, the phone number is 541-776-5770 if you have any questions about what's going on in your yard. And this is a good opportunity to talk to Tim. If you've never been to the nursery, you're missing it. Just go on out Highway 62, get off on Vilas Road, go up past the Army Navy store just for a little bit, and you'll see it off to the right there. And they're open 9 to 5.
9 to 5, every day.
Every day. And beautiful, beautiful nursery. A lot of good things going on out there. So what about vegetables? I mean, all kinds of stuff coming and going this time of year. With this, I know you like tomatoes to be stressed.
Not stressed, just not overwatered.
Okay, so I know where that line is. Where is that line?
Yeah, you want to get them.
This.
When I first plant my tomatoes, I like to watch to see how long it takes for them to wilt. Once they get to the point where they're starting to flower and produce, I don't really want them to wilt. So now I know if it takes 3 days to get them to wilt, I'm going to water every other day because I don't want them to actually get to that point of wilting. They find that inconsistencies in watering can cause blossom end rot. So you're getting that black on the bottom, see calcium deficiency, improper watering, those kinds of things are all linked to that. So we want to be kind of careful not to overly stress them, but we don't want to overwater them either. Too much water and they'll sit there green on the vines and not ripen. So just be kind of watchful of that. Allow that top maybe 2 inches of soil to dry out before your next watering, and you're in pretty good shape that way.
Well, any deer-resistant tomatoes? Poor Peggy. She's got these tomatoes going, and they're just going great. The plant's up, and there's all these little buds and the flowers, and then we get these little cherry tomatoes coming out, and you walk out the next morning, and they're gone.
They're gone. Well, you need a GMO tomato.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the DNA of a tomato crossed with the DNA of a 30-06.
Oh, that GMO. Got it. All right, we'll go with that one. All right. 776-5770 if you got a question for Tim. Hi, Joanne. What's going on with your bushes? Joanna?
Again?
Yeah, that's you. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I have a rose, and it's got this, I guess, Bermuda grass through it. And how do I get rid of that, or can I plant? Do I need to?
Okay. So getting
it's a rose.
Okay.
A peace rose, and I have, I guess it's Bermuda grass. It goes all over through it. How do I get rid of that grass, or do I need to transplant it?
No, you can get rid of the grass and without having to dig up the rose bush. There's a product by Fertilome called Over the Top. And the only thing it kills is grasses and grass-like plants. So, yes, it's called Over the Top. So you can spray that right over the top of your rose bush if you want to. It will not hurt your rose bush, and it will kill the grass.
Do I put it in the dirt?
No, you just spray the foliage of the grass with it.
Just spray the rose bush?
No, spray the grass underneath the rose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it won't hurt your rose, so if it gets on the rose bush, it's okay. But it will kill the grass without hurting your rose.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
All right. 776-5770 if you want to get your name in the hat for a beautiful banana daisy. Tim Elbert's in the house. We'll take a couple of questions. We'll take a break here in just a moment. But Levi, what's going on with your corn?
Hello?
Yeah, what's going on with your corn, Levi?
Yeah, so we planted our corn in our old chicken coop, and so they're growing monstrously huge, and there's sunflowers in there too. But
Nice.
all of a sudden, like a bunch of them have like fallen over.
Well, if you got some gophers going
I was going to say
in
gopher.
there.
No animals or anything that I know of.
Yeah. It sounds like something's affecting the roots of that. You might check a little closer and see gophers, moles, voles. Most likely that's the case.
Yeah.
You say moles?
Or animals, if like raccoons or something at night. I don't know, but it's most likely something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right,
All right.
thank you. All right, one more before we take a quick break. Hi, Rita. What's going on with your rhododendrons?
Well, it's planted right next to my garage door, and as the door opens, it does hit it. Now, the front of the bush actually gets a lot of sunshine, but the rest of it doesn't. So the front of it has got what looks like sunburn.
Yeah, that's pretty common if it gets a lot of sun. Most rhododendrons in our area do not like our hot summer sun. There's very few varieties that will handle it. Sun damage is usually seen by a spotting in the center of the leaf between the midrib and the edge, and you'll see usually kind of an oval-shaped brown patch, or one on each side of the midrib of the leaf. And if that's what you're seeing, most of the time
That's not what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is sort of the front leaves. Some of the leaves are turning yellow.
Okay, so that does not sound like sunburn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there could just be a pH problem. You may need to add an acid fertilizer. See if that helps out. Bring us a sample and let us take a look at it to make sure, see if there's
the back
anything
of the
else.
plant is just nice and dark green. Just the part that's not under the eaves is, looks like it got sunburned. So, and can I trim it, that side that the garage door hits?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Tim.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rita. All right, we'll take a quick break. If you got any questions, get them in right away. 776-5770. Again, 541-776-5770. Somebody's going to win a beautiful banana cream daisy from Four Seasons Nursery. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paula, and I work at theDove TV. Every day we get letters and emails from people who've been encouraged, blessed, and challenged by the programs on theDove TV. But we couldn't do it without you. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to bring inspiration and hope to our community by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or call us at 541-776-5368.
Okay, we're back, and Tim Elbert's in the house. He heads up the Four Seasons Nursery, a great nursery here in Southern Oregon. If you've never been out there, you're missing it. They have everything you want to know, or everything you need, I should say, in the way of gardening. You know, plants, flowers, trees. That place is like a polywog. It's ever changing out there.
It's changing right now. We've been going through through the nursery and redoing all the displays and stuff. So.
Right.
Yeah, so things are changing out there. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, they're open from 9 to 5, 7 days a week. You may want to check it out there on Crater Lake Highway. Get off on Violets Road and then slip up on this frontage road. You can't miss it. All right, get your questions in. The phone number is 776-5770, and your name's going in a hat for a beautiful banana cream daisy that he's going to give away. There's a picture of it there on the screen. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, Beatrice, thanks for your patience. What's going on?
Hi. I have a grass that I'm not sure if it is a grass, but when the other caller talked about, and you told her to use over the top,
yes,
this is a grass is supposed to be flat. This is like a very tough chive, kind of round, and it only gets about a foot tall. but it's in everything. I brought in a load of dirt from another place, and it's totally filled that area with this horrible grass.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it is a grass.
Well, no, yes and no. I mean, it's a grass-like plant, but it's called rush, and it is, it can be very weedy. It's found a lot in wet areas, so the soil probably came from an area close to a stream or something like that, or a wet area, boggy area, and those seeds are small. They blow in, they get into areas, so it has a very wiry type root system. So trying to pull them out sometimes it's pretty tough to do. But if you can kind of get underneath them and dig them and pull them out, they don't usually come back from that. So my first, attack method would be to get out and get that dug up as much as you can. If you can't dig it up, then you will need something like the Killzall and a nice hot day and spray that stuff. The spray needs to dry on the foliage right away because they're kind of round and that spray doesn't stick to it very well. The Killzall has the surfactant so that it should stick to it okay, but again, do it on a hot day where it can dry on the foliage right away, and then you should have pretty good success with that. Unfortunately, the selective weed killers aren't very effective against it.
Well, ironically, this was brought in for an area around a fish pond that has all kinds of unusual ornamental plants. And now all this stuff is coming up. We were very careful about how we did it, and now that the only way I can figure where it came from, because we're in Fort Jones and it's high desert, it's not marshy where I am.
There you go.
Yeah, it could have come in with some of your pond plants, because it's a very common one actually that's sold a lot as a pond plant or a bog plant. But if you've got a fish pond close by, then I would highly recommend just digging it out, hand digging it out.
And so I don't want to kill all my beautiful things.
Yeah.
And okay, so it just needs a lot of elbow grease.
Yep. You need a teenager with some ambition.
Good luck in finding one these days.
Yep, that's true.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
You bet. See you later. All right, 541-776-5770 if you have a question for Tim. Hi, Lois. What's going on with your, what do you got, iris?
Iris bed. We have, I would say, spread over our property at least a quarter of an acre of iris bed. And the weeds have taken over. We've gotten too old. We can't get out and dig them up and take care of them. And I was wondering if you sprayed this weed-free zone on them, would it hurt the iris?
No, it won't hurt the iris.
Okay.
But that it will only kill broadleafed weeds. So it shouldn't hurt the iris, but if there's grasses coming up in your iris beds, it's not going to kill those.
You're not going to kill those.
No.
How about then putting the dementia stuff on? Will that take care of any new grasses coming up?
It will take care of any seed from those, yes.
Yeah.
But it will not kill anything existing.
Yeah.
So irises are a tough one because they're so shallow rooted and everything. And sometimes it's easier, well, not in your case probably, but sometimes it's easier to dig up the irises and then clean the beds and replant the irises. But a quarter of an acre of irises, you need more than one ambitious teenager for that.
Okay. Well, thanks very much.
All right, thanks, Lois. All right, if you have any questions for Tim, the phone number is 541-776-5770. And when you call in, your name's going in the hat. Coming up at the end of the next segment, we're going to draw one name out. Could be yours, and you could be winning this beautiful. Isn't it pretty? Wow. For those watching on the Dove TV, it is a banana cream daisy.
Yes.
And it'll grow this tall, that wide, and bloom throughout the summer.
Yes, for those of you on the radio, it's really nicely colored, and it grows about so big and so wide. Yeah.
All right, here's the number: 541-776-5770. I don't know if that was an interesting question. Grass growing in the iris bed, and yet isn't iris a big leaf plant?
Well, iris is a grass, and it has to do with how the vascular tissue runs through the plant. In a quote-unquote broadleaf plant, the veins come up through a central midrib and then fork off. Okay, as you've seen, pictures of leaves with the midrib and the little veins that come off. That's typical of a broadleaf plant. A grass, each of those veins come up singly, straight up through, parallel to each other through. And there's where your classification, that's the simplified version of the classification. And because of that, some types of chemicals will affect plants that have the vascular tissue one way and others the other way. So there we go.
There you go.
All right.
Horticulture 101 right here.
Science 1, not even 101. We're down to 1.
Oh, down to 1. Okay, there we go. All right, so 776-5770. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with Tim Elbert. And if you have any questions, get your name in your hat. This is your last opportunity. 541-776-5770.
Hi, I'm Daniel and I work at theDove TV. Compared to Portland, Seattle, and LA, Medford might be considered a small market, but at theDove, we're excited about the opportunity to make a big impact right here in our community. And you help make that happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us now by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or by phoning 541-776-5368.
Welcome back, and Tim Elbert's in the house talking about your garden and plants and vegetables and trees and flowers and bugs and sprays and all that stuff. And when you call in, your name's going in the hat. Somebody coming up here in the next 10 minutes or so is going to win this beautiful banana cream daisy. Just gorgeous. And so give us a call, 776-5770. I have a couple questions, but I want to go to Gail first. She's been waiting. Gail, thanks for waiting. What's going on with your rose bush?
Hi. I've got 2 rose bushes in my backyard that we planted about 10 years ago, and they've both been blooming just fine. And then about a month ago, I took the dead roses off of after they bloomed, and I fed them both, and the one is doing just marvelous, and the other one is just sitting there. It's healthy, it's green, but it's not growing, and it's not getting any new buds.
Have you fed it lately?
Yeah, about 4 weeks ago I did.
Okay. Try it again. 4 weeks ago, that could be about the end, but feed it again and see if that pushes some extra growth. Now, sometimes, depending on the variety, some varieties will respond better and produce more blooms and other ones won't. And it's very, very variety specific. So it could just be that variety. So if you try it again with some fertilizer and it still doesn't work, it's probably just because that variety just is not a good rebloomer. And it probably will when the temperatures cool back down, but you probably won't see much for blooms until then.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Alrighty.
Yeah. As long as it's green, it's got hope.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, vegetables. Now, the corn this year, I've had some corn, and it's delicious.
Oh, good.
And but can you stagger corn so that it comes?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Because that's what they do, right?
Yeah, and you probably should stagger your corn. Now, typically for pollination, you want to have a good grouping of corn. So if you're planting in rows, you want 3 rows of corn, and you plant 3 rows of corn, and a week to 2 weeks later, plant another 3 rows of corn. And then another week or 2 later, plant another 3 rows of corn.
Okay.
Usually you can get 3 good plantings that way, and you'll harvest, use that, can do whatever, and then the next 3 rows, you're ready to go again. So that your harvest will be every 2 weeks, because corn is very specific about timing. It's ready, comes ready a certain number of days after germination.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's I had some of the Seven Oaks corn. Have you had it yet?
Not this year, no.
Whoa. It's absolutely delicious.
I imagine it's going to be a fantastic year for corn, just because of the long, warm spring and hot summer. Corn loves that. That and plenty of water, and you're going to build a lot of sugars inside those corn kernels. Yeah.
Is there any bugs out there that we should be concerned about? A couple of years ago, we had that moth thing going on. Is there anything like that going on?
We don't have anything that I have noticed being a regional problem, no. So far this year, insects have been bad and are probably going to continue to get worse, but not in anything specific. We know the earwigs, we know that the slugs and snails, mites are going to start to become a real problem right now. Just had somebody who had crocosmias. They're the nice lily foliage that comes up with clusters of red flowers on them. And they said, well, my leaves turn brown every year. Well, the leaves turn brown because you get mites. And so you need to control those mites. And mites love this heat, so watch for that. Mites are microscopic. They're very, very small. So you don't see them, but you can see the effects of them very easily. Yeah.
All right, let me just say, got a couple minutes left. If you have a question, get your name in the hat for the drawing. 541-776-5770. Again, 541-776-5770. Tim.
Yes.
The argument of watering early, watering late, watering in the heat of the day.
Water, if you're watering, water in the morning. That's absolutely the best time to water. Okay.
Now, is it okay to do that before the sun comes up, knowing that it's going to get hot?
Yes. Yes, you
but
can do it.
Don't put the flower or the lawn to bed wet at night.
Correct. Yeah. Plants, when it gets dark, plants are no longer photosynthesizing. So they are no longer using moisture. They are respiring. And so because of that, if you put water on them, they're not using it. It's just sitting there. Now you have a greater chance of fungus problems. They have a greater chance that water is going to drain away before it has a chance for the plant to use it, etc. So if you can get by without watering at night, do it. Now, having said that, when we water the nursery, we cannot water it in the morning because you folks want to come in and buy plants. So our timing for watering is at night. And so you can water at night, but it is not the most ideal time. So
there's a lot of the cities and places like that will do their watering at night,
Yes, yeah, because people use that during the day. They use the parks, et cetera, during the day. So and by the time you cycle through 12 hours of watering, you've got to start at 9 o'clock at night, and water through the night. And so it's an okay thing to do, but it's not the most ideal. Ideally, your best time is early morning, and the plants will use that moisture through the day. Now, as far as watering during the day, we talked about this, I think, last time.
Yeah, whether overhead or underneath.
Yeah, if you are watering your plants to get your plants water, that should be done in the morning. But if you want to throw the sprinklers on to cool things down during the middle of the day, it's okay. We're not using that as a watering, but just run the sprinklers for a couple of minutes just to cool off the air, and
it won't burn
fantastic.
Anything?
It won't burn anything.
Okay.
So you should be in pretty good shape.
You don't want to do that with vegetables, do you?
Not always, yeah, because you sometimes can cause some damage, but usually the damage is superficial. So, but if you wanted to, if you remember back, in our childhood days, Mom would turn the sprinkler on and we'd run through the sprinkler in the middle of the day, and that we never had problems with it causing problems then, and it just won't cause problems now. But as far as is it going to waste water? Yeah, it is. Yeah. So your best time is the morning. But hey, if you want to get out there, cool things off a little bit, I used to take the hose and put the nozzle on it and shoot it straight up in the air.
Yeah.
You know,
well, I know we're all conserving water the best that we can. I mean, let's face it, we're in a drought season.
Yes.
20 some odd counties are in a drought state. So if something's got to go, I would assume it would be the lawn, because that really takes the most water.
Yeah, lawns definitely take the most water. Yeah. And you can go through summer with a water-stressed lawn and be okay. If you're okay with that, if you're okay with your lawn being dry and stressed, you know, that's better than dead.
Yeah.
And so if you can keep your lawn somewhat alive and just water stressed, that's okay.
Right.
And then in the fall, it'll come back and be green again.
Should be fine.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can squeeze in one more. Hi, Bob. Thanks for waiting. What's going on with your petunias?
Hey, they're not blooming like yours are. I try to patch your place every day, and I'm fertilizing them every week, like you said, with that stuff that's in your nursery there. And also, like, I'm thinking the little tiny black things I see in there every now and then, and that bugs you want me to kill, and I'm spraying it once a week.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I can do?
Well, in the instances that I have experienced where you're feeding and spraying, generally you're not spraying enough. So I would say be very diligent with your spray. Cover the whole plant till it's dripping wet, undersides, top sides, all the plant surfaces with the spray till it's dripping wet, and do that once a week. And in about 3 weeks, you'll start to see a lot more flowers developing. And by about 4 weeks, it should be in full-on bloom, looking as good or better than ours.
I doubt that. Yours look really good.
Yeah, you just have to use a lot of that spray. Unfortunately, you know, we have searched and tried to find something that works better, that's less expensive, that is easier to apply. Not had any success with that at all. So far right now, the spinosad is the best spray to use, and using that on a regular basis and thoroughly soaking it, and you're in good shape.
Sweet.
Okay, thanks, Bob. All right. And again, Four Seasons Nursery open from 9 to 5 every day. Out on Highway 62, you go on out Highway 62, get off on Vilas Road, you'll hop over to the frontage road, you'll go past the little Army-Navy store there and go up about half mile, so you'll see it, and go on in there. All right, we're going to draw a name out. Who's going to win the Banana Cream Daisy?
Yes. And
it's going to be...
If it was banana cream pie, I'd be winning it, that's for sure. And Levi.
Levi, congratulations, yes. Levi. All right, yes. and Tim will get a hold of you and connect with you to get out there at the nursery, pick that up. Any last minute tips as we go into our nice weekend before we get into the scorching week next week?
Well, get it all done now. That's what I say. And then when it's 106 degrees, do what I do. I go in my air-conditioned shop and work in there.
Roses and everything, all that. You probably should be cut back, right? I mean,
yep. You should be trimming back the roses, deadheading those, and keep up with feeding on those once a month usually.
And by the way, if you have any potted plants, especially those hanging plants, you need to put a little food in there too, because as you water them, trying to keep them moist, you're just also watering all the nutrients out.
Yep, flushing through the soil.
And the product for that is?
That's the Geranium Hanging Basket and Pansy Food by Fertilome.
Okay.
And we've got that in 3 different sizes. So.
Okay, and that mixes with water.
Yep, mix with water, pour it in.
Yeah.
Does a great job.
Okay, and Tim's cell phone number is 54... No.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you next time on Focus Today.
Hi, I'm Jim and I work at theDove TV. Every weekday between 6 and 8 a.m., our award-winning news and sports team bring you the best morning show around. It's live, it's honest, and it's a whole lot of fun. And you help make it happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to air local programs that share your voice by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us.